What a fabulous evening, my dear CCA friends. I am truly delighted to moderate this webinar on management of stress during COVID times. Stress has become part and parcel of our day to day life. With the pandemic set in since April of this year, we are experiencing enormous amount of stress in managing hospital life and our personal lives as well. If we balance the stress, it will become productive. And if we fail to balance the stress, it will become counterproductive. With this short introduction, I would love to call upon our speakers, Dr. Newton Kondaviti and Dr. Harikumar. Both are doctors and exceptionally qualified motivational speakers and life coaches to talk on how to manage stress in our day to life and in particular COVID times. To brief upon Dr. Newton Kondaviti is a medical director, spiritual scientist, past life regression specialist, which most of us, we don't know what it is actually. In next 1 hour, we will be knowing lot of these therapies and how to experience stressless life. He is also a metaphysical teacher and he is a pioneer in the field of past life regression and travels all over the world to teach meditation. His passion is to deliver the lectures on past life regression and also to stick to vegetarianism. And with this short introduction on Dr. Newton, I now move on to invite Dr. Harikumar as well. Dr. Harikumar is one of the leading hair transplant surgeons in India. He has done his MBBS from Kurnool Medical College and MS General Surgery from Sri Venkateswara Medical College, Tirupati. And he is currently working as a associate professor at one of the medical college in Hyderabad. And his passion is meditation and healing. He practices these two as a core specialties and he has a very great enthusiasm in spreading the meditation and healing therapies to innumerable number of clients. With this short intro, I would love to invite Dr. Newton onto the webinar and to deliver his
Greetings to everyone. Welcome, my dear friends, to this webinar today. And the topic that was chosen for today is a spiritual way of dealing with corona stress. We heard about stress. So far in life, for everyone, the stress and strain is so common theme. But what is this corona stress? Now, all of us, entire humanity, some way or other experience this effects of the corona COVID-19 pandemic, created panic kind of state. And right now, there's so much of turbulence and chaos. All my medical friends, medical fraternity, also facing this kind of situation. They are in the front line like warriors, waging a war against this, fighting with this virus. And there's so much stress that's going on right now. How to deal with this stress in an alternative way, a spiritual way? There are different ways, but let me share with you all a spiritual way of dealing with this kind of stress. Dear friends, the signs of stress, if we have studied about this stress, how this stress is generated in us, what is the science behind this, what effects it will have on us. And stress, in a simple definition, we can say, is not just only subjective feeling. Generally, we think that it's only subjective feeling, but the science has proven that it's a measurable set of objective physiological events in the body involving the brain, the hormones, the immune system, and many other organs. So it is through medical science we have come to know that not only in the mind, it's not only just in our feeling, in our consciousness that we feel stress. It's not just only subjective. It is more objectified. It is more, effects can be seen, the consequences of the stress. People have emotional reactions, people have breakdowns, people have certain kinds of ill health, sickness, draining of their energies, exhaustion, so many effects we see. So, dear friends, there are two categories of stress. We can broadly classify them as unhealthy stress. The first one. What is this unhealthy stress? Is throwing out of balance from emotions to physiology to mind processes. Stress means disrupting an equilibrium. Stress is universal phenomena. Without stress, there is no life at all. Definitely there is stress. Only a person who reached to the graveyard will not feel the stress. If we are alive means in life we'll bring so many situations where we encounter these stressful situations, stressful thoughts, stressful kinds of events happen in our life. Definitely it will bound to happen. But if it is reaching beyond a threshold, the equilibrium is lost, it becomes an unhealthy stress. This is the bad stress, which is going to have serious consequences on everyone. So, dear friends, this healthy stress is okay. All of us have experienced it in our lives, in our professions. In different ways, we have experienced this healthy stress. This is not always wrong. Stress is not always wrong. It can be used in beautiful ways, positive ways. For example, someone who is in a kind of stress, for example, there is an examination, a student has to appear. And immediately that stress makes him plunge into action. He will study more, he will do more hard work, he will utilize his time, not wasting his time. There are many beautiful creative ways to channel this stress that we go through sometimes in life. This becomes a healthy stress. Otherwise, it will become pathological. Otherwise, it's only physiological range. So, causes and effects of stress. Without cause, there are no effects. Every effect has got a cause. We are living in this world, we know that this is cause and effect plane. For example, the science also says that There is a cause for every effect. So whatever stress that we are experiencing, an unhealthy stress, a bad stress, definitely has got a cause. What's the cause of this? We can say this internal and external. So many external factors also cause stress in us, stress reaction in us. We can see many examples from our own life. So suddenly this COVID-19 situation created, that's a cause for stress. Almost, mass population going through this kind of stress. People are not able to sleep. It is like just like a war situation. There's something called post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Many war victims or post the war, after many decades of the war, the stress, the consequence of the stress will be there. The people can't sleep. People can't be peaceful, restful, relaxed, positive. There are many effects. These effects only in the mind, not only in the mind, but also we experience certain effects in the body. The body immediately indicates to us how much level of stress that we have gone through. From medical profession, we know that psychosomatic disorders, many psychosomatic disorders are related to this pathological and unhealthy stress that we accumulate in us because we do not know how to deal with it. Mostly we think the stress can be relieved by smoking certain cigarettes or drinking alcohol, or just temporarily we go to a movie and entertain ourselves. But still, the people have those effects. Alcohol or smoking or something else, like going to shopping and having some kind of, hobbies. But still, people carry the stress. It is not dealt fully. So anything which is not dealt completely, this is the undealt, unfinished, unresolved stress within us, and which will come again tomorrow. So major part of the stress is contributed from our mind. Our mind contributes major portion of stress because the mind thinks. When any physical factor, environmental factor is coming, which is creating a kind of stress in us, the mind, which is generally goes into a very negative mode. And in that negative mode, we may perceive that as a great danger or a threat to our existence. Immediately, there is a kind of stress levels goes up. If we have a barometer, a measurement yardstick, we can actually measure these levels of stress in us. It goes up. As the mind thinks and assumes so many things, we also create so many kinds of assumptions about that threat or danger that's lurking around us. So there's so many effects we go through. Our mind is a major factor which amplifies and, which intensifies the stress and the effects of the stress. So, dear friends, how do we deal with it? So the effects we know already. We have been seeing in the patients, in the life of human being, and around us, whatever is happening right now, we can see the effects, so many effects. It takes many years for that to recover from that stress. So Dr. Hans Selye, MD, he said, it is not to see something first, but to establish solid connections between the previously known and the hitherto unknown. That constitutes the essence of scientific discovery. It is this process of tying together which can best promote true understanding and real progress. Is the author of the book, The Stress of Life. So when we can join what is unknown and the known, the known things and the unknown hidden facts, hidden truths. We can actually make certain discoveries. It's a beautiful quote. And a new field of medicine, psychoneuroimmunology, says this: we are able to connect all the pieces of puzzle, the science of the interactions of mind and body, the indissoluble unity of emotions and physiology in human development and throughout life in health and illness. This is called simple way we can understand this as mind-body connections, the placebo, nocebo effects, medical science being researching about it, and the power of mind. How mind is so powerful. How our psychology, our neurology and immunology are wired. How something is happening in the mind, in our mind, there is a trigger, and instantly there's a fired neurons. Immediately it sends the messages to our immune system. It is such an intricately connected. So dear friends, with this we can know the effects which will be generally on the health, generally on the physical life of us. We can't sleep well, we can't enjoy, we can't really be peaceful in our lives. So many effects, and losing the health. How to deal with this is the main important thing. The 7 spiritual methods I want to share with all of you, dear friends. They are like unconventional methods. Generally, we don't look at them, but they are such profoundly useful, beneficial for everyone, almost whoever adopts these methods. Number 1, viewing situations through a different lens of perception. If we can look at the situations that are in front of us from a different perception, different viewpoint, then it immediately alters the way we deal with that situation. Generally, we have a mindset which is very negative. Any danger, threat that is coming from outside, immediately we take it as a big danger and it's going to collapse our life. And immediately there's a panic reaction in us. But if we learn this new skill of changing our mindset, viewing the same thing, though it is a threat, we see the threat as a new opportunity, new possibility. It is opening new doors. For example, the COVID-19, it's also opening new doors for everyone. We are researching a lot. We are, increasing the hygiene everywhere. We are following so many beautiful health principles. Suddenly the whole world is alert and awake. We're following so many beautiful health principles which were never followed before. So many things which are positive also at the same time happening. If you can view this situation from a different lens of perception, definitely the stress levels will go down. This is the first thing that I completely recommend to everyone. The second one, music for an experience of relaxation. How many of us we feel relaxed in our lives? We hardly relax. If we measure what is the muscular what's happening in our muscles by connecting the electrodes, and we can see how much our muscles are relaxed in our body. Our muscles are tensed, very tensed. There's so many adrenaline hormones, cortisol levels so high in this modern world, dealing with this kind of stressful situations in life. We are hardly have time to relax. And conscious relaxation, being born in India, Yoga Nidra is such a beautiful practice. I've been practicing this Yoga Nidra. It's a conscious way of relaxation of the body, where you consciously direct your awareness to different parts of the body and relax your entire body. And music definitely assists. If there is a background music, which is classical music like sitar, piano, if somebody likes guitar, or somebody likes drums, somebody likes even flute or shahnai, it can be a beautiful relaxation. The ancient music ragas have a tendency to relax our mind tremendously. So this is a very useful tool. Even for 15 to 40 minutes time, somebody practices this yoga nidra, which is a conscious relaxation practice. It is going to be immensely beneficial in dealing with the stress. And the third thing that I recommend is drop the story. We carry so many stories in our mind, the mind which makes stories, assumptions. For example, something is happening in our life, immediately our mind starts thinking. It makes it more worse. Even it looks into the future, thinking that this might happen, that might happen, and this worst thing that is going to happen. And we create a story in our mind which creates so much stress. And reduce your stress with a pause. Drop the story. Drop the story. Pause button. We have to press the pause button. There's a Buddhist meditation practice. This practice is called sacred pause. Every 1 hour, a monk practices for 2 minutes of pause, sacred pause. Whatever is happening, just they sit silently, do nothing. They have self-awareness in that moment. All the stories are dropped in the head. Otherwise, our mind is so logical, analytical. It lives either in the past or in the future, and it assumes so many things. This is also another great tool that we can use. The stories that we carry in the mind can be dropped, and sacred pause can be practiced. And the fourth thing that I recommend is slow down. Slow down in life and be mindful. Slow down does not mean not to stop your work. It means that slow down, do it consciously. While we are doing anything, be mindful. For example, when Buddha was asked by one disciple, what is meditation? Buddha said, walk while you're walking, eat while you're eating. Be mindful. That's what he said. So whenever we are engaging ourselves in a certain activity, we have to be present fully there. Be mindful of what's happening in you. In that moment, our mindfulness will not allow the stress to be internalized. The stress will not get amplified. And shift your truth about an event and reduce your stress in a nanosecond. For example, something that we think that as a truth may not be truth. Generally, we think that's a truth and it is danger and it's going to really create chaos in our lives, and which is creating a lot of stress. Shift your truth about an event. For example, the COVID-19 event, we can look at it from a different set of eyes. And then this event will become an opportunity for us to innovate and research, create, expand our knowledge, and update our own selves with new knowledge. You know, we take everything as an opportunity, transform the stress into a new possibility to create wonderful things in our life. And this is how we can do it. Slow down, slow down. And the next one I want to share with you, dear friends, the power of presence. How many of us we are present in the moment? Hardly very few of us. Mostly we live in 4 compartments of the mind. I tell you what are the 4 compartments. One is the past which is already gone. We always, think about the past regret about the past, and or else we project ourselves into the future and worry about the future. And also another category of people, they live in the stories, me stories and other stories. So these stories of others are your own story. I'm a victim of life, and I can never come out of this situation. It's going to be worse, and I'm not capable, I'm inadequate. All these stories that we carry in the head. So, dear friends, this is called four compartments of mind is, generally gravitated towards, and which creates such a stress. It is important to pull ourselves, come back to this present moment, be present. So, for example, we are with a patient. When we are completely present, our presence can be felt by the patient. Mostly we are not present. Our mind is racing. We think about the past. Oh, past, so many clinical situations that happened and going to be worse. The past, we always take into reference point, or else future. It's going to be very dangerous and all the future. But if we are in the present moment, then we can deal with that any situation more effectively and efficiently. Otherwise, either past or future, which is going to take away a lot of our energy, we will not be able to make any justice. Being in now and here, that's the key principle, which releases the stress. Just practicing this presence is itself very powerful, and this moment is a power of creation. We are all very powerful beings, everyone without exception. We create with our thoughts, with our feelings, with our behaviors, with our actions, with our words. We create our personal reality. We can create our new atmosphere of joy and peace and harmony and a good immune system inside us. The stress takes away all the immune system. And the next one I want to share with all of you, dear friends, is transforming stress through creative visualization process. This is a beautiful tool. I have been practicing this. This is generally practiced through hypnotherapy and also NLP model, where any negative situation which can be perceived in our mind, give a color and shape to it. For example, the stress, COVID stress. Maybe we give a kind of yellow kind of structure to it. Here on the screen you can see the slide, the yellow like a drop, like a water drop. It is maybe symbolically represented in this way. So in the closed eyes, with our eyes closed, we do that. We visualize the stress. We feel the stress in our body, visualize it, and then we change that into a radiant glowing sun, a blue sun here, for example. We may give any color, any shape. Transforming this, symbolically in the mind, we also shift our entire perceptual field. We completely shift the stress into great relaxation in that moment. One can try. It's very successful. I taught this method to so many people. They got benefited from this. This is a very powerful process in establishing of goals and goal setting. Not only goal setting, goal achievements can be done through this method. And finally, I insist upon meditation practice. I have been practicing meditation since 3 decades. Every day, I give myself 40 minutes time to 1 hour minimum to meditate. That 1 hour time will make me so much energetic. I can work like a horse tirelessly. I don't feel exhausted. That's the power of meditation. How to do it? It's so much we keep hearing, being born in India, meditation, dhyana. The power of breath means Just observing the breath. For example, sitting in a comfortable posture. In the slide, you can see one lady sitting in a comfortable posture. We may sit down like this, like in the slide, or else we can sit in a chair or sofa, sitting in a comfortable posture, and then clasping our hands and crossing our feet, closing your eyes, and then observe your normal, natural breathing rhythm. Generally, our breath is so involuntarily happening, but we now pay attention to it consciously. We observe the breathing. It is called witnessing the breath. So when we observe the breathing, we notice it, whether breath is long and deep, whether breath is short and shallow. If the breath is short and shallow, let it be. If the breath is long and deep, let it be long and deep. Sometimes when we have stress, we have stressful breathing, anxious breathing, fearful breathing, weak breathing, tired breathing. We can see that breath is itself as language. Whatever is happening in the mind, it's always can be, noticed in our change in the breath pattern. Whenever we are angry, our breath rhythm is changing. Whenever we are fearful, it is changing. Panic, when we're panicked, immediately we're going into shallow breathing. We gasp for breath. So the breath is a very powerful tool. A lot of oxygen going to come when we become conscious breathers. So observe your normal natural breathing and empty the mind from all the stressful thoughts. A mind which is habituated to think and think 24 hours per day, almost 50,000 thoughts to 90,000 thoughts per day we think. 90% of those thoughts are negative thoughts. How much we are carrying the stress. Negative thoughts create so much stress in us. So emptying the mind, when we are observing the breath, our mind will not be thinking anything. You can't do two things simultaneously. Either you can focus on your breathing, or else you may be thinking about the past or future or worrying about something. So when you are mindful of the breathing in that moment, sitting with eyes closed, what happens is your mind becomes absolutely empty and silent. In that emptiness of the mind, cosmic tap of energy is open. A cosmic energy, there's a universal energy. In the cosmos, there is energy. We know that through quantum physics, that there is energy is a reality. And that energy we can access. Meditators, they access that cosmic energy and they feel a well-beingness in that moment. Many get these kind of beautiful experiences like out-of-body experiences. They have multiple experiences of chakra activation, the subtle energy centers in the body. What is not known to medical science, we come to know. So much is unknown about our own selves, the mystery of our own selves, which can be, through practice of meditation, we become aware. We tap into that unknown realms of us. So, dear friends, meditation is very, very powerful tool. And finally, I want to share with all of you, dear friends, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Generally, we are always want to be in the comfort zone. And most of us, we are in the comfort zone, then we can never know about what is beyond. We can never expand our horizons of our life. Your life can become even more amazing if you stretch beyond your comfort zone. Sometimes this is so essential in our life. We need to be a little daredevils, venture. So generally, the spirituality is a big notion, big misconception, a myth, a superstition. We think that we become a monk or a renounced person or a sadhu and all that, sannyasi. It's not that. One can be following the middle path. They can cultivate their mind, strengths they carry inside themselves through meditation. They don't need to renounce anything. And only thing is, through meditation, we're going to go out of comfort zone. What is this mind? What is this beyond mind? What is this life itself? Why we are living here? All these questions. So, dear friends, the stress partly is because we have the fear of, life and death, because it's a mystery of unknown. So meditation, somewhere, it makes us witness everything. When we are able to witness, we know that we are all, beyond, death beings. We are forever entities. That means the soul that never dies in us is not just only religious kind of truth, but it is a kind of beautiful experience by many mystics and meditators. Many mystics and meditators, they have an experience of that they are primarily, fundamentally soul consciousness. The body is a divine instrument, mind is a divine instrument, and they have an awareness about life and about the death, and they have conquered the fear. So a part of the stress that right now is because the fear that we have. This fear can be transformed, because fear is the biggest virus than the COVID-19 virus. Fear is the greatest and grandest and worstest fear, the virus, greatest virus. Because once it enters, it corrupts our entire mind. It makes our mind very negative. We can't view the life with its glory. So, dear friends, I'm very happy to share with you about these 7 important tools. And I wish all of you to, practice, and may you all be benefited from this. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to share. Thank you.
Good morning, doctors. Very glad to be here. I would like to share smile breath meditation to all of you, because SPM, Social and Preventive Medicine, beautifully says the WHO defined the health as not mere absence of disease. It is a balanced state of physical, mental, intellectual, social, and spiritual well-being. Since we are not educating on the spiritual domain of the health, all other people, say some gurus, wellness specialists, they're all educating it as a curative procedure, the meditation and spirituality as a curative method. But we all know we do curative treatment, but we had to include the meditation and scientific spirituality in the preventive health care. If we do this, all the superstitions, all the quackery will be erased by us, and we can regain the last charm of Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. Doctors are considered as gods or second gods, but we are restricting ourselves to medicine and surgeries, not educating about the root cause or going deep into the values, the virtues. The feelings and emotions are not taken into the consideration. Meditation can address all these things. This is our job as a proactive or preventive health care. So coming to the slides proper. Stress management with the smile breath meditation. We all know smile is an ornament on the face. If we have smile on the face, instead of having plastic smile or income tax paying face, the smile indicates that we are very, very sound mentally. And it is a sign of making friendship with the surrounding people, with the surrounding environment. This is what I understood as an aesthetic surgeon. The Maxwell, pioneer in the field of the plastic surgery, says that correction of the outer will be complete if you correct the inner. Even though the rhinoplasty is done outer, they always feel that they are not good enough, they are not complete. So correction of the mind and addressing the feelings, emotions, behavior is also very much essential in the treatment of the patients. Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, beautifully says, meditation is not evasion. It is a serene encounter with the reality. Osho also says meditation is not for happiness. It is the quality of happy people. These are some of the TV programs, more than 70 channels. They beautifully accepted the meditation for the treatment of many of the psychosomatic disorders. There is a scientific study on meditation, how it improves the immunity. International Journal of a recent scientific research published that there is increase in the telomere activity and lengthens the telomeres and immune longevity. Reducing the activity of a nuclear factor KB9 mediator, which is involved in the pathogenesis of cancers, arthritis, asthma, and neurodegenerative diseases. Meditation also improves the response to internal and external stress with extreme effectiveness. There are 195 Yoga Sutras. Out of them, only 3 spoke about asanas. Most of the time, we think that yoga is asanas. No. Rest of the 192 Yoga Sutras spoke about mind and its power, almost magical in nature. The goal of the meditation is to plug the mind out of the problems. This is also said by University of Wisconsin. It keeps the stress at bay and facilitates in bringing our own inner treasure. PET scan before meditation and after meditation. If you see this slide, there is increase in the red color, which indicates increased brain activity. And there is also study on brain waves, the cluttered mind, which is there in the beta state, in awakened state, in normal state, is gradually, the mind waves are going to be slowed down. If you see alpha, delta, theta, and gamma, this is observed in sound sleep. We all know sound sleep is also immune booster. When you do meditation, the cluttered, chaos, confused mind gradually become calm mind, and then we can make it a creative mind. We all know right and left half of the brains are stabilized, harmonized with meditation. The left brain usually does the analytical thinking, logical sequence, language, and science and maths, whereas the right brain, which is activated during meditation, this is the dormant brain. We won't use much of the right brain, which is the seat of intuition, arts, creativity, and holistic thought. We are all holistic beings. We have to lead holistic life. When we lead holistic life, our profession will become very, very holy. That's why not only the body, but also mind should be taken care of. This is psycho-neuro-immunology, body-mind medicine says. Meditation is a magic immunity pill. Health is the biggest treasure we have, and it is non-negotiable. We must invest it in every day. Right kind of nutrition, physical activity, sleep, emotional wellness are all keys to strong immunity. There is also an observation that people with COVID recovered in less than a week if they do meditation, because fear is the most important factor that decides. And instead of 3 weeks, people recovered in 1 week. There are some myths and conceptions. Why? Because meditation is usually taught by all non-scientific people. But when it is taught by the scientific people, then there is no bias, there is no confusion. Most of the times, religious gurus and preachers and the self-acclaimed wellness specialists, they talk about the meditation. But if you allocate 2 hours of education on meditation and scientific spirituality, so many superstitions will be wiped off from the community. I say the society is spoiled not by the evil of the bad people, but it is mostly by the silence of the intellectual peoples and scientific people like us. So doctors who are considered as in divine profession, if they teach about the spirituality, and very simple, spirituality is very simpler than our Davidson medicines and surgery. So we can master it. It is not at all a simple technique. If you do meditation, we can be very, very happy. Happy people can only impart happiness to the people. We can also train the nurses and paramedics to educate, especially in the waiting halls. So instead of talking nonsense about the hospitals and the commerciality of the doctors, they can silently do meditation, and every hospital will become very, very calm, tranquil, and there will be wonderful patient-doctor relationship we can regain the charm of the lost Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. There is a study by Masaru Emoto. He conducted the experiment on the water. We all know we have 70% of the water. He made the water into the crystals and observed the internal structure of the water crystals by high-speed photography. When the water is subjected to unpleasant music constantly, see left side, you can see there is bijari and disturbed internal structure. Whereas if the water is subjected to soothing and soulful music, see the beauty on right side. This is how, if we subject ourselves to meditation, music, and being in the nature, practicing the silence and taking a break, spending with the family, all these things will give a wonderful mood and it can affect our body. And impact of the words and water crystals. If you constantly say, reciprocate with a thank you, see the beauty. In the same way, if you always condemn, criticize and comment, say you are fool, you, because of you, I am like this. If you constantly say such repeated words, then our internal structure is going to be changed. See, compassion, thank you, wisdom, truth, joy. This is the wonderful internal structure he observed under high-speed photography. See, we have 70% of the water. If you make some change in our internal milieu, internal harmony, definitely the smile will increase and the radiance, the vibrations, positivity in ourselves will increase. If doctor is changed, if there is a willingness to change, definitely we can be treated as very, very wise people, wise community. See, compassion, thank you, wisdom. Whereas if you see down, heavy metal music, I'll kill you. We commonly use such words, not externally, internally also. If we have these thoughts, body succumbs illness or disharmony or imbalance. Smile breath meditation. It is not a religious practice. That's why we can introduce this to anyone. It is not chanting of mantra nor visualization of any god. There is a lot of bias about the god. That's why we can avoid all these things. It is to understand and unleash our own true potential. We are using only 10% of our potential. When we do meditation, we can be more energetic, more creative, more dynamic, more enthusiastic. Staying with our own self can be done by calming the incessant chatter of our mind. Mind mastery is life mastery. These are all the subject we know, but once we are aware of this thing, we can impart, we can share. Benefits of smile breath meditation are pure smile instead of plastic smile. People always say, see, doctors, they don't have smile on the face, but we can also have this smile if we practice this. Radiant, charming, wise, inspiring face rather than income tax paying or constipated face. Regaining the easy, tranquil, natural rhythm of the breath is the best benefit of it. Since the smile is contagious, we can spread the smiles in our working environment as well as in our family. So more oxygen, we all know more oxygenation to the cells and tissues occurs when you do pranayama. Other benefits, tranquil, calm and creative mind. Intellect is going to be sharpened. Intuition and sixth sense are going to be amplified. Sleep time. Sleep time is going to be reduced. Instead of 7 to 8 hours, we can have 4 hours of sleep if you regularly practice smile breath meditation, and you can use these 3 hours for the other activities. Living passionately every moment is the result of meditation. Energy, enthusiasm, zeal to learn and evolve are going to be amplified. It's effective people management, and the doctor and patient relationship is going to be amplified. Efficiency at workplace, willingness to update and evolve, shattering of our comfort zone. People always say, sir, laziness is the only weakness of man. How to come out of it? This is the solution. Sense of humor and common sense quotient is going to be amplified. Self-love, self-acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, self-respect. These are some of the benefits. Awareness on our moods, words and deeds. We can also come out of our negative beliefs and patterns. And most important, final thing is understanding the mysteries, accepting the uncertainties. COVID is an uncertainty. We didn't expect. Even astrologers have not predicted. And majority of the people, this numerologists, astrologists, all are emerging, and all other alternative therapies are emerging. Why? Because we are not educating about this scientific spirituality. When it goes through us, definitely we can make the society change. And this is the meditation. Any comfortable posture is okay. Sit in a comfortable posture. Even on the chair is also okay. Waiting halls are the best place for the patients to do. Even inpatients can also practice. And when we do meditation, in clasping the hands and crossing the legs at ankles with closed eyes, if you start observing the breath, some energy flowing through us, and we can have a positive aura, positive magnet. We become a positive magnet to attract health, wealth, good relationships, success. What you think is what you are. Linda Goodman beautifully says, what you eat and what you think is what you are. So we all know about nutrition, but regarding if you know more about the thoughts, meditation, then we can be sound both internally as well as externally. Now coming to the practice, sit in a comfortable posture with having smile on the face. See, the ananda or happiness or smile comes in the later part, but let us start with smile. Dr. Wayne Dyer beautifully says, begin with the happiness. Don't try to or crave for the happiness. Happiness is your true nature. So sit in a comfortable posture, having smile on the face. Start observing your normal and natural breath, because we have to come to the normal state. We have to become more natural. As we observe the breath with smile, the smile on the face starts increasing. Gradually spread the smiles all over the body. See, you are your own creator. You have to take the responsibility of your own self. This is what Krishna beautifully says. Uddharet atman atmanam atmanam avasadayet atmaihi atmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. You are your own friend. Be friendly with your life, with your own self, especially your own breath. So far you focused on the money. So far you focused on some of the success, achievements. So now focus on your life. This is the time. You have to allocate some time to yourself. If you are wealthy, if you are very, very happy, if you are blissful, then only you can impart. Otherwise, the subject is different, whereas experience is different. Observe and the breath. As you are observing the breath gradually settles here. It becomes small and settles here. After that, spread the soulful smiles in each and every part of you. Take the responsibility of your body. This is nothing but loving your body, extending the smiles to each and every part of you. Gradually spread these smiles into any discomfort or pain area. We all know, if you create the fear in the fear or look into the fear, fear will resolve. So far you neglected. That's why there is a discomfort or pain. Now you acknowledge the pain with smile. There is already a winning consciousness. If you focus very wisely at your pain, gradually you'll observe the pain mitigating or discomfort going away. This is what a patient has to do. We are giving medicines and doing surgeries. We are very, 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 very well advanced, but we are not throwing the responsibility on the patient, the health seeker, to take care of the mind and soul. If we do this job, definitely the lost charm of Vaidyo Narayana Hari, we are going to regain back. When you do this, you are going to acquire so much of bliss, joy and happiness. Spreading this happiness into your workplace, into your family, into the surroundings, makes you in a giving mode, sharing mode, instead of having, yes, I want to have everything. This consciousness you can mitigate, and you will prevail in the blissful consciousness of sharing. If everybody are doing this, what happens to the society? Everybody starts contributing. So smiles, supporting, sharing, and all those things will prevail, what we call the values, the good virtues. So smile breath meditation is a wonderful tool. Now just see the benefits of smile breath meditation. How many legs does this elephant have? Yes, many people are saying very differently. Even though any animal have 4 legs, but we say 5 or 6. This is how we judge. The judgment will not be, it is from the mind. When mind becomes empty, through smile breath, awareness meditation, will be very, very calm, cool, comfortable. Then we can see the things and we can understand the things very effectively. So only 4 legs every elephant have. And how many and what are here? Yes, people are who are seeing the black color, they will say there are 6 faces. But see the focus on the white color. You can observe the different faces. There are 8 faces are there. That too different faces. Life is always blissful, but we won't have awareness to look into the right side, positive side of it. So all of you keep your hands like this. Yes, do like this. Front motion. Yes, this one. Reverse. Do 2 things simultaneously. We can't do 2 things simultaneously. Why? In the same way, mind cannot do 2 things simultaneously. Either positive thinking or negative thinking. Take a chance. The ball is in your court. Think very positively. Look at the life very blissfully. Which vertical line is longer here? Yes, definitely on right side. To my right side, the line is longer. Why? Because it is open. A closed mind and heart, closed heart brings little happiness in the life, whereas open mind and open heart always brings more happiness into our life. So meditation opens this openness to learn, openness to teach, openness to share. Yes, please read this following message. Yes, a bird in the bush. Once again, read it very carefully with finger. Yes, there are 2 these. We missed the second da or the. Why? Because we don't have the awareness. Yes, bliss is everywhere, happiness is everywhere, but we must have an eye to see, heart to feel, and hands to share. So never judge that this person is wrong, this is a bad. So it's all in our how we look into the things. This is how we took the classes for the nurses. Nurses are living angels. Nurse Devo Bhava. 45 minutes of meditation workshops will deal the stress of the nurses. So these are the people who deliver our prescription. So make them stress free. This is how we taught in OIC, Care Nampalli, MNJ cancer hospitals, and also students of the Osmania, Gandhi, and different hospitals have conducted. Even Hemophiliac Society children, they also underwent this meditation workshop. Police people like that, many programs, more than 70 channels. We regularly do this. I invite all the doctors to contribute and share this spirituality, scientific spirituality. Definitely society is going to be changed. And let us do simple meditation now. All of us. Yes, keep your hands like this. Sit in a comfortable posture. Sit on the chair with closed eyes. You can remove your specs because it is inner journey. Close your eyes. Start observing your breath. Normal breath. Normal, natural, easy, soft, tranquil breath observation. Wonderful. Have a smile on the face. No need to chant any mantra. No need to visualize any God. Just be with the breath. Natural breath observation. No counting. No holding of the breath. Kumbhaka. Yes. Be aware of your breath. Witness with a smile how the breath is going in and coming out. Inhalation and exhalation. We are all breath specialists. Breath mastery is life mastery. Yes, the smile is increasing with each breath observation. As you are observing the breath, you are becoming more light, more tranquil, more peaceful. Yes, wonderful. So far we focused on our external success. Let us focus on internal harmony through breath observation. Breath is the life. If you focus on wealth, wealth will come. If you focus on fame, fame will come. If you focus on breath, life will come. Total body and mind are becoming very relaxed, very energetic, tranquil, soft, easy flow of life, making you more brighter, more blissful. Observe the breath with smile. The smile on your face is increasing, filling every part of your face. Yes, the skin is shining, eyes are glowing. You can feel with each breath, the smiles are spreading all over the body, filling every cell of you, every part of you, every system is smiling. The breath gradually becoming slow, soft, tender, tranquil, easy, and settling in the forehead region. Becoming small, yes, very good, and settling in the forehead. If you get any thoughts or distraction, look with smile. Wonderful. Whole body with full of smiles, joy, peace. Now, if at all you have any pain or uneasiness in your body, fill that area with smiles. As you are spreading the smiles in the area of the discomfort or already existing disease, gradually the discomfort, unease or dis-ease will be filled with ease, bliss, joy. Final 1 minute. Whole body from head to toe is smiling. The breath is very, very soft, easy, natural. You are spreading these smiles from head to toe. You are very, very light and spreading these smiles into your surroundings, where you are sitting, spreading into your family. All your family members are smiling. Smile is contagious. Positively, it influences everyone. Spreading the smiles into the workplace, hospitals, your friends, families, spreading into the city. Because of you, the smiles are spreading all over the city, yes, state, spreading further into our whole India. Yes, spreading these smiles all over the globe. Wonderful positive vibrations, the light, the love, happiness, joy, bliss. You are spreading, filling whole creation, the planets, yes, the stars and whole cosmos. You are not a limited being. Extend your bliss, joy everywhere. Medical profession is the topmost profession, divine profession. Yes, you are spreading this joy wherever you are. You'll be a sourceful person for spreading these soulful smiles, spreading across your body, all the systems, all over the globe. Be in that blissful state. As you are spreading, sharing, we all know, we multiply. We are multiplying our smiles, our happiness, joy. Be in that blissful state. This is your true state. Always sharing, empowering, caring, loving state. From body to blissful state. Be there. 10 to 15 minutes of this technique is sufficient. If time is available, 30 to 40 minutes, you can practice very leisurely before going to bed or when you wake up in the mornings. Wherever possible, you can practice this. Wonderful. Be in that blissful state and slowly, slowly keep palms over your eyes and slowly, slowly open your eyes. Yes, claps to everyone. Claps, claps, claps. Yes, meditation is appreciating one's own self, one's own mind, one's own emotions. When we appreciate ourselves, there is chance for us to get appreciation from everyone in the surroundings. So let us love ourselves, let us accept, forgive ourselves, let us have self-dignity. We can realize all the things through smile breath awareness practice very regularly for 15 to 20 minutes whenever time is possible. When you have smile on the face and start looking at your problem, it may be any pain or severe diseases. When you start looking at your pain, you can also look at your enemy with smile. You can also look at uncertain things, the chaos with smile. This is how we have to be during especially the challenging times. If you have this, if you feel this soulful smiles, then you can spread, you can share these soulful smiles everywhere. All hospitals must become centers of this spreading soulful smiles. There is no religion. There is no thinking of the God. We are very, very scientific people. We know the value of the breath. Let us understand and unleash our potential through smile breath awareness. Thank you. Thank you very much.
2, 1. We are live.
Fantastic talk, phenomenal talk, Dr. Newton and Dr. Hari.
Thank you.
We have excellent audience. I'm sure they would have benefited with our talk, and they learned some tips to take home, how to manage the stress in day-to-day life.
Yes, yes.
And here, may request, I will be, giving audience questions. I'll try to balance to, questions to both of you, sir. But in case, if you want to pitch in, please, anytime you are welcome to pitch in and add some inputs to either of you. Here is a question from Dr. Naeem from Srinagar. Dear sir, it's a fantastic lecture. Because due to responsibility and accountability is becoming huge. How to tackle it? This question is particular to Dr. Newton. Sir, I am also taking an antidepressant during this COVID crisis, that is sertraline. Your inputs, please.
Yeah, Newton.
Okay, that's about the responsibility and accountability, and which is creating stress
Accountable.
for you. Yeah. Mostly what we receive as certain kinds of inputs and our perceptions in our mind can generate the stress. Most of the stress, though there are stressful factors outside, the work and everything is so stressful, but still, how you deal with it internally, it determines a lot. So I recommend, sir, for you, a kind of meditation practice, even though you are on antidepressant right now, but hope in the future, definitely with the practice of meditation and slowing down in your life and changing your stressful thoughts. Thought can be changed. The best part of, having an awareness of this mind and thought process in the mind. For example, I have a stressful thought. Okay, this is a huge responsibility. Oh, it's very difficult to deal with. And sometimes it makes it so worse. So we can change it. It's so easy and is effortless for me to deal with this situation. And that way of inner perception.
So can I assume that, taking that, this thing as a not at all a great responsibility, yes, just do it. Or just, involve in it and do it and finish it. Don't assume that this is a huge responsibility on my shoulders.
Yes, Dr. Vijay, that's true. Yeah. And also, result oriented. When we are too much, on the results, when Lord Krishna told, don't focus on your future results, do your whatever best that you can give in any moment. That is going to be very fruitful and productive. Yeah.
Yeah, Vijay, I want to add.
Sure, this brings
situations are same for everyone.
Please go ahead.
But how you react or respond, that matters. When you do meditation, you will shift from reacting mode to responding mode. There is this word is responsibility. Your total ability your total ability, you will respond. You will take the responsibility for your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, and also the surroundings. Then what happens? You will not feel overburdened. You will feel that it's a benediction for you. It's an opportunity for you. It is a chance for you to evolve. So that more involvement will be there and you can have that playful consciousness, and the stress, the so-called distress, will become eustress, or the so-called depression. It will become a right pressure, propelling force to take the accountability and responsibility.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Hari. But having said this, okay, it's not that easy to practice in our day-to-day life. Is there any simple tip that you will add? Yes, you have suggested, you have made us to do this smile breath meditation.
Yes,
that was wonderful. Yes, that 3-4 minutes we have experienced very excellent, bliss.
Yes, yes.
But the moment you come out of meditation and then enter into your physical life, and then enter into hospital, a kind of negative emotions, a kind of lot of depressive emotions, and a kind of vibrations will bring in invariably some amount of stress in our lives, and that too with the presence of this COVID pandemic. Okay, it's really troubling our doctors a lot.
Yeah, I want to show a simple thing. Yes, all of you keep your hands like this. Just to keep your hands. Yes, Vijay, you also keep it. I count 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I say 5, you should clap. Okay, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Many people clapped for 4. Why? Even though I said for 5, you clapped for 4. Because it is lack of awareness. Here in Smile Breath Awareness, what we did, we started with a smile and started observing the breath with a smile. See, Dr. Wayne Dyer says, happiness, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. You have to start with the happiness. So observe your breath, which is nothing but life force. It not only carries the oxygen, but also carries the life force energy. So observe with a smile. As you are observing your breath, we all know breath and mind are interlinked. All our emotions, all our thinking, all are connected to our breath. when you are focusing on your breath, witnessing the breath, gradually the breath will settle down. It will become very small. And you will observe your smile start increasing and spreading into all your body parts. Most important thing is you will also see your pain with smile. Then what happens? All untoward situations, tough situations, toxic situations which are prevailing in the hospitals or in your life, you will have smile. You will be looking with a smile, with the energy. So what I want to say is, even though it appears very short lasting session, but it will have greater impact. We all know serotonin, melatonin, oxytocin, and all the happy hormones we are going to have. With that enthusiasm, which is derived out of enkephalins and endorphins, we can face it very easily just to practice it. See, we practiced medicine for 5 years. This is just 15 to 20 minutes. If we regularly practice, definitely we can continue and it will replace all of our stress.
And this also brings to my next question to Dr. Newton. Yeah. Dr. Newton, go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Vijay. Daily practice of meditation definitely can help in such cases. If it is intermittent and irregular meditation, it won't really help much. So you can.
Dr. Shyamala Prasad from Kasargod. Okay, Dr. Shyamala Prasad from Kasargod is asking you both to add. Is there any specific music that one need to keep it in the background to facilitate a meditative state?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Vijay, music meditation is really wonderful. Any kind of classical music, instrumental music, not vocal music, any instrumental music, it will help a lot, like flute and sitar and tabla, or it could be shahnai. Any kind of classical music and which is instrumental, one can play it.
Not only music, but also making the mind very, very calm and doing with the help of the pyramids and especially the group meditations is in the hospitals. We always deter with this. See, hospitals are very, very tough places, very, very biased place, confused place, and chaos places. No, if you do in the hospitals, because there is so much of compassion from the doctors, so much of helping from the doctors, and all these things, any place is okay. And initially, if you can also take the help of the music, as Newton says, the classical music, it makes the meditation 3 times more powerful.
Yes, sir. Even I have read about from Avaduta Dattabeetam from Mysore, Sri Ganapati Sachidananda.
Wow.
He practices wonderful classical music through which there are many experiences that are reported that even chronic illnesses can become better.
Very good. Correct.
Right. How to, here is the question, how to manage stress if we found ourselves or our near ones turns COVID positive?
Yeah. See, life is uncertain.
If a doctor becomes, because I can see many people have asked this question, that's why I cannot name. Okay. How to manage such stress in their own families?
Yeah, we all know that 80% of the cases are asymptomatic and they become a stressful situation. But if you know that you are COVID positive, we had to restrain from normal activity and you have to stop and quarantine yourself. And most of the time we are focusing on the food and sleep. If you add meditation, what happens? Your mind becomes very, very calm. When mind becomes calm, the creative thoughts will come. Yes, I can face my problem. It is not at all a major problem. Only 1 to 2% of the people are dying. But what people think is, they think that I may be in 1 to 2%. I am going to die. This is the major fear everybody is having. If you take the responsibility, if you do regular meditation, what happens? You will have calm mind. Then you can take creative steps. You will inform to your friends. You will also inform your own supporters. Then you will be courageous. Most of the people are getting depressed during COVID times. If you take the responsibility, if you have that positive mode, if you are very, very confident, You are not careless, but you are becoming fearless. When you are becoming fearless, then what happens? You will take right foot, you will go to the sleep, and also you will chat with your friends, and you know that time heals. Time heals. You will develop that patience to face the problem. In this way, the fear of the death, fear of worsening, all these things will mitigate, and you will take the responsibility for your life. If you are very courageous, and we have seen, as a surgeons, we have seen, if the person is having willpower, or he is confident, confident about the doctor and the prescription, definitely they will have wonderful outcome. So regularly add meditation. As Newton said, if you are 40 years, do 40 minutes of meditation. If you are 20 years, do 20 minutes of meditation, like a morning dose and evening dose. Definitely it will add the confidence to you.
So I remember
Thank you, sir.
the words,
Thank you. So,
Dr.
yes,
Vijay,
sir.
I remember
Dr.
the
Newton,
words
yes.
of Helen Keller. What she said is, if you face the sunshine, you do not see the shadows. Means, where is our focus? Whatever we are focusing upon, it multiplies and it grows. For example, a medical doctor, their relative is affected with COVID-19, and then immediately it also shakes everyone in the family, including the doctor. So that moment, our focus need to be on actually strengthening the family member. We can be resourceful to the person. If we generate a lot of negative, inputs, and we go with the stress, we're going to react in that moment. We are going to also make the person very weak in that moment. Thank you.
Wonderful. Next, Vijay.
Comes of appreciation from our CCI colleagues. The CCI colleagues, we are 3,000 across India. Tons of appreciations for your both presentation is there. I cannot name them individually. So here I am moving to my next question. Pulmonologists and critical care physicians working in ICUs are who are handling highly stressful situations. A patient is sinking and his oxygen levels are dipping. Sometimes there are difficult airway intubations. Our colleagues may fail to really do justice in that moment because they are wearing PPE. Sometimes it is very foggy. They are getting dehydrated. Very stressful situations, and suddenly one nice doctor who is really very dedicated doctor, he failed to intubate a patient, and then patient lost his life. How to deal? This is completely new to this COVID-19 pandemic.
So
what should talk to his own self, and then to avoid such a demoralizing situation?
First of all, when he approaches before approaching the patient, he already has a lot of experience, wonderful skill. You already have sufficient experience. Only thing, sometimes because of the stress or sometimes in untoward situations, you may lose the patient. It is not a failure. It is a learning lesson. If you understand that it's a learning lesson, definitely you can implement your lessons in the next patient. Of course, the patient is lost, but you are taking the pain. You are in a greatest agony. What you have to do? Just focus on yourself. That is your breath, and do meditation at that time. When you do that, your anxiety will go. Otherwise, what happens when you are in agony? You will react. React means react. That means same repetition of the activity, so that you will pressurize yourself and you cannot deal the tough situation. That's why doctors are prone for not for clapping, but for the slapping and also the criticism. When you are very, very calm, when you are very, very creative, then what happens? You can deal the situation, because life is spontaneous. We all have learned that life is uncertain. The uncertainty also prevails, because even though you are very skilled, sometimes you may lose a patient. First thing is you have to console yourself. Yes, I did my best job, and connect to your breathing. Then you will become very, very calm. Then next, how you not to react, but response will come. When you are responding, life is nothing but responding to the situations. See, you may lose the situation, you may lose, but you have to be very, very comfortable. You have to be in a position to console yourself and also encounter the difficulty, how you are going to face, because loss of the life is lost to everyone, but they will react. But if you respond properly with calm mind, cool mind, tranquil state, then your response will be very, very apt. Not only to you. See, initially you had to calm down because you have skill. So this is the way.
Say, agree. Probably, calming our own selves, and then instead of, reacting, respond to the situation and try to bring it to the same thing to the attenders who are waiting outside ICU, and communicate in a proper way so that you can handle the situation pretty decently.
Don't hesitate to take the suggestions from seniors.
My next question to, next question to Dr. Newton. Dr. Newton, okay, it's very difficult to manage because nowadays ICUs are being managed with a lot of loneliness. Okay.
Right.
Alone, okay, a doctor is sitting there for, hours together alone. He cannot, yes, maybe if he is in a regular ICU, he may play with his mobile or, talk with, and whatever in ICU for ICU specialists.
Can you repeat the question, Dr. Vijay? I missed out.
ICU loneliness.
ICU loneliness. How to manage ICU loneliness for healthcare workers?
Okay. In such cases of loneliness that they're feeling in ICUs, they can actually utilize that time for actually amplifying their own energies instead of depleting their energies. If they feel that they are lonely, no one is around, no connectivity with anyone, they feel definitely it is a stressful situation. Loneliness is also the cause of stress for a lot of people. And in that moment, they can do so many things. Book reading, so many positive things can be studied from the books. And second thing is meditation practice.
Basically, to make you understand, in a better way. So book reading is quite impossible in this COVID ICUs because they are in PPEs.
Yes.
Okay,
maybe doing sit calm, make yourself meditate, conserve your energies, expand your, mental strength.
Exactly.
This is what is going to help.
That's true. That's going to help a lot.
Vijay, low is different, solitude is different. Solitude is soul attitude. Shifting from the soma to soul attitude, it happens through smile breath awareness meditation. Then you will feel very abundant. You can face the situation. That's why it is called self-confidence, self-empowerment. See, self is nothing but soul. So shift from soma to self with the help of the smile breath awareness meditation.
Right. Some physicians or, healthcare workers, for that matter, anyone, okay, when they encounter such a stressful situations, what is happening is they are getting, addicted to alcohol beverages, smoking, and very rarely we also do come across some colleagues getting addicted to drugs. What's your, take? Is I know prevention is always better than cure. Okay. Yes. What is your take on, how to prevent, and if at all they get addicted to it, how to cure it?
Yes, Dr.
Question
Vijay.
to both of you, sir.
Dr. Vijay, the easiest way to deal with situation is to ask themselves the question: is it really helping me to get relieved from the stress, or what is going to help me a lot?
Do you really mean, Dr. Newton? Dr. Newton, may I interrupt? Do you really mean that, such a wise people, pulmonologists and critical care specialists across India, they don't spare time to, for even few minutes to question themselves, is that this smoking is really beneficial to them?
Because that awareness is so important, because mostly we look for shortcuts, like alcohol. Alcohol is a shortcut, or some kind of tranquilizer to sleep well, because stress will not make people to sleep well. So definitely we're going to get addicted. Instead, so like a yoga nidra practice, conscious relaxation practices, it actually, we get so many benefits more than alcohol. Whatever the alcohol states, or when we are smoking a cigarette, whatever the pleasure that we can get far more joyful and states than that. So my take is particularly on this.
Vijay, I want to add. Vijay, addiction means adding fiction. So most of the times taking alcohol, smoking, drugs and all those things are done very, very unconsciously. Even though we know where it is going to harm us, since we are doing very unconsciously, seeking the pleasure out of it. When you become conscious, take the alcohol. That's why it is said 2 packs are good. And one smoking with the friends is also good. But become conscious about it. When you are doing conscious breath observation, you will also apply this conscious observation to when you are taking alcohol, you will sip. And after one more sip, body will say, you idiot, why are you taking alcohol? That internal message will come. See, people always want to hear from others and complaints from the others. Right. And here the inner complaint will come. Why are you devastating yourself? Why are you disfiguring yourself? Why are you depressing yourself? Why are you demoralizing yourself? When it comes, change will happen. See, all are alcohol, smoking, all are to make our mind very, very calm or free or elated. When we understand that it happens through meditation, then if you know the right thing, as Newton said, if you see the sunshine, sunlight, definitely the darkness, there is no place for the darkness. See, the darkness may be there in the room. If you switch on, the darkness will go. So meditation is only the solution. That's why we say meditation is a simple, effective and holistic tool to empower us.
Right. Fantastic, sir. Fantastic response. Here is my friend, Dr. Kalpesh Gandhi from Jalgaon. He is asking us, he is seeing currently 90 COVID patients at present.
Yes.
Before it was 20 to 25 patients per day. He is feeling sometimes guilty of not giving justice to a lot number of patients. But his profession is demanding such a huge number of patients to be seen by him. What is your take, sir? How to avoid such a guilty feeling?
Yeah.
Okay, guilt won't serve any purpose, Dr. Vijay, and your friend whoever asked, I really appreciate for this question, because many, they feel guilty in the medical profession, healthcare profession. So, I am not able to really render my services to all the need patients. And this particular time, definitely, a lot of guilt comes, but guilt never serves any kind of purpose in life. What serves life is compassion. For example, your friend is able to really treat around 90 patients, COVID patients, and definitely it is really encouraging and it's really appreciable. And we must really feel good about it. And, guilt can be transformed into compassion.
Right.
Just we have to become aware. Right. Sometimes this self-awareness itself will take us to that step where we convert that guilt into a different kind of positive emotion.
Vijay, 10 seconds exercise.
Dr. Hari.
Exercise. Yeah, I'll add this one, guilt. Okay, all of you be in the present moment. Be in the present moment. Most of the time the guilt is related to the past. I have not done rightly or some mistake happened. It's all connected to the past. Be in the present moment now. Just all of you, 5 seconds. You won't worry about what happened if you are staying in the present moment. If you come to the present moment, just be here. You won't have any financial issue also in your mind if you are connected to the present moment. Yes, last 3 seconds. See, you won't bother about your health issue also. Be in the present moment. Yes, nothing is coming. So, when you are in the present moment, you will have total awareness on your body, your efficiency. You can deal the thing. That's why it is said, Yuddhaya Kruta Nishchayaha, Yogastaha Kuru Karmani. When you are in yoga, when you are with yourself, then what happens? You won't bother about your past. You will deal only in the present moment. Future is not at all a problem. because future is going to be the present moment. Past is already done, present moment. So be in this moment. Meditation, the awareness on the breath brings onto this present moment awareness, body awareness. And also you will also scrutinize how your thoughts are flowing. The wandering thoughts, wavering thoughts will also cease, and the gap between the two thoughts will increase. You will go into absolute silence. See, most of the inventions happened in silence. So meditation speaks about the outer silence and mostly the inner silence. When you are silent, you can witness, yes, any problem, let it be. See, most of the time people are always seeing through the problem, small problem, through the lens. So it is magnifying it. So when you are ready, when you are taking the responsibility, when you are in the present moment, guilt won't arise. I have not done properly. Yes, it is done. So many mistakes we do. But every mistake has to lead to a take, another take. No mistakes, only take. So if you have that.
So what I understood, Dr. Hari, is there is no utopian world.
Yes.
We are all living in not living in utopian world. There is no perfectionism. There is no space to perfectionism. So at that moment, whatever is best, we have to deliver and accept it as the best thing that you have delivered from you.
Perfect.
So moving on to, in the interest of time, probably we are left with last 6-7 minutes. Friend of mine asking, do you really, I think this is very question with a lot of inner meaning. Do you really think that there is a purpose to every life? What's the purpose of life of a physician? Generally, earning a huge paycheck and living happily are the measures of successful doctors to assess their quality of life. What are the other ways of looking life and how to measure it? Question to both of you quickly. 2-minute response, please.
Life has a purpose. Life has a meaning.
Yeah.
Definitely has a meaning. Everyone's life has a meaning. And it's not just, we are not biological random accidents. And there is a beautiful purpose that for which we all have come onto the planet Earth, definitely. And as a physician, as a surgeon, and all doctors, they can really find their purpose. Whatever the task they are taking up, in that moment, that's their purpose. That's completely their purpose. They can dedicate in that moment to deliver their services in the service of life.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I'll add. Yes. Vijay? Medicinia is a Greek word to become whole. So
Yes,
our life
2
to
minutes
be
for you, sir.
holy, wholesome. A medical profession itself is a divine profession. See, we are already 90% perfect beings. Even though people say that we are commercial beings, and also people criticize that companies, we go according to the companies. But our true quality, because from the MBBS times, we are very, very hardworking. And we are, when compared to engineers, we are doing so much, we are very, very compassionate and unique beings. See, 5 fingers are different. Every finger is very, very unique. So medical profession is unique. Since the meditation and scientific spirituality is lacking in the modern medicine, see, all are emerging. So do your duty. Whatever you are in profession, always feel that you are in a greatest profession. And second thing is, simply add meditation, scientific spirituality, and you are creator of your own life. Take the total responsibility, love your body, self-love, self-acceptance, forgiveness, all qualities are there with us, because we deal not only the body, but also extend our services to mind and soul. So since we are doing only 1/3 of the job, the rest of the 2/3 people are commenting, doctors are only commercial people. When you do your job, that's why work is called worship. So this worship really happens when we do meditation. See, doctors, they may be smoking, they may be taking alcohol, but usually we say, don't take alcohol. It causes it kills you, or smoking, it causes the cancer. So preventive methods, as a preventive methods, let us spare time for 1 day for all the people. See, 5 days we can charge so much, but 1 day do the service, then you will understand, yes, medical profession is the greatest profession. All nurses are divine angels, living angels. And if this happens, the so-called babas and all fake gurus, all are spreading this meditation. See, we know about the birth and death, and we know the pus and all the ugliness. We have seen the deaths. We are very, very really practical people. That's why we are 90% perfect. Only add spirituality, scientific spirituality. What is scientific spirituality? It is not about the God. It is said, Aham Brahmasmi. We'll realize through meditation. And also we'll understand that you are utilizing only 10% of potential. Unleash it. Total potential. If you won't use, what happens? It will be lost. So utilize your potential. Don't think about your extra profession. You are just be in the profession and always align your words, moods and deed then to your work. It is the constant awareness. When you become aware of your breath, you will be aware of your body, your life, and you will be more contributing. Instead of, yes, what shall I have? No. When you are doing, see, medicine is the greatest profession. I acknowledge, I respect all the pulmonologists and intensivists, all the leaders, we are all the pioneers in saving the lives. But if you add this, that's why we respect the temples, because it is very, very calm. Make hospitals also not noisy environment. Make it very calm. If we teach, see, if we are busy, teach this technique to the nurses, paramedics. They will teach in the waiting halls, in the inpatients, and also will prescribe the
Sir, Dr. Hari.
This is the way. No,
Dr. Hari. Okay, fantastic. So, thank you for your brilliant response. And here, another 1 minute. Please stick to time. Okay. How to manage resent and envy as negative qualities, which most of us may be having. In some, there may be a small degree. In some, it may be to a bigger degree. How to take these qualities and then take it off from our core qualities.
Newton.
Okay, Dr.
Envy.
Vijay. These we call them as
Envy and
Arishad all the negative emotions which rules
Right.
our life and also ruins our life mostly. But through cultivating awareness and mindfulness and meditation practice, definitely one can transform anger into peace, guilt into compassion,
Right.
shame into magnificence, shining star. So each one can really
Right.
be an alchemist of their own emotional field, having an emotional awareness itself can really deal with this kind of emotions.
So can I say that, I understood like this. Okay, these negative emotions may not be our core qualities at all. Okay, we learn through our lives. Okay, maybe once we realize
Correct.
our core strength is not, our core trait is not having envy, then that itself, takes off envy from ourselves.
Exactly, Dr. Vijay.
Dr. Hari, do you agree?
Yeah. Vijay, yes, agree. We are basically surface living people. When we go to soulful living through smile, breath, awareness, meditation, then all the positive qualities at the surface it will be there. Envious, hatred, and all the fight with the people. But when you go to your core, you will find the bliss, and you will get the eye to see the bliss, and you will have the heart to share the bliss, and hands to feel the bliss everywhere. So your true core, as Vijay says, you are very, very blissful being. But why you are seeing all the negativity outside? Because you are living at the periphery. Go to the core with meditation, just a simple meditation. If you add this, you can change the life, and you can be very, very courageous with the tough situations. The problem will become a challenger when we do meditation.
My dear friends, okay, in the interest of time, yes, very interesting discussion is going on. Having said this, okay, we can stretch this session for 1 more hour, but in the interest of time, it is, I'm getting, calls from our core committee to wind up the session. Okay, to sum up, okay, we are really in a, new challenging situation, which demands new skills, new strength, and lot of motivation. Lot of motivation only comes through some degree of practice of our meditation and a lot of happy smiling. So we got some extremely great insights of how to inculcate the modern spiritual science into our daily practice through Dr. Harikumar and Dr. Newton. Both of them are medical professionals practicing their lives in changing lot of thousands of people's lives through spreading smiles and meditation. And before just winding this session, any comments, Dr. Hari, Dr. Newton, for our COVID warriors as a last single line sentence?
Yeah, my sincere, pranams and my wishes, best wishes to all the COVID warriors who are really facing, standing in the front line and, saving many lives, thousands of lives. And really, it's a great appreciation from my side to all of them.
Really, we must thank you from Chess Council of India for spending close to 2 hours on this August evening, okay, and delivering nice insights into how to change life or stress, how to change stress in the modern COVID crisis situation. And yes, I know each session by both of you, if we want to take it on personal one-to-one basis, it costs some thousands of rupees. But thank you for, your unconditional support to CCI. Looking forward, probably after COVID gets resolved, we are looking forward for a nice one-to-one session for at least, few selected Chess Council of India members who are interested to participate. Looking forward for your support, Dr. Newton. Sure. Dr. Harish, sir, anything you want to add?
I want to repeat your quote. That is, we won't need your claps, and also we don't need your slaps. Allow us to heal all of you in our lap. Doctors are so compassionate beings, so generous people, sharing people. So understand the doctors, save the saviors. So what I really thank all our doctor colleagues who are striving here. See, Karma Yoga is the highest yoga. So add Dhyana Yoga, Raja Yoga, a little bit of it. Definitely our lives will become magnificent, and wherever we lived, we will be a walking gods, or living gods, living angels. I thank all the COVID warriors. Be brave. We are going to save the world.
Thank you. With this thing, I am closing the session. Thank you. I thank CCI founder, President Dr. N.H. Krishna, and his team, Dr. Narayan Pradeepa, Dr. Narendra Mittuku, Dr. Ravi Doshi, Dr. Atri, and all other team members who are relentlessly working to spread knowledge. And this is, in particular, this session, it is brainchild of Dr. N.H. Krishna, who wants to take this session to all the COVID warriors across India. And I profusely thank the technical team, Mr. Vipul, Mr. Rinkesh, and Mr. Tarun, and all others for their unconditional help and then, continuous support. Thank you, one and all. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Vijay, and thank you, Council of India, all the doctors. Newton.
Bye. Thank you, Hari. Thank you, Dr. Vijay and CCI.